Yesterday, Caden Groves emerged from the rain and the chaos to win his third stage of this Vuelta, matching his performance from last year. Today, the GC battle takes a back seat once again as the punchers and breakaway specialists enjoy their final opportunity. Stage hopefuls will need to use their legs and their heads and get the timing just right. Mauro Schmidt has learned that lesson the hard way with a series of close shaves.
With the condition, I'm definitely happy, and I also tried as hard as I can. Unfortunately, it was good enough for the win yet, but I keep trying the next 2 days. Today is pretty good. Will be a bit too hard for the sprinters, so normally it's a breakaway day, and I try to be in.
Indeed, the breakaway has an excellent chance of going for glory as they battle their way over the twisting, bumpy roads of the Basque Country, and familiar names will no doubt be on the attack. It's clearly a stage that's destined to go to the breakaway. We're coming to the end of the third week. This is perhaps the last opportunity for riders who aren't pure climbers to target a good result or even a stage win, so I think it's going to be very lively.
Everybody is expecting today to be a breakaway day, so we have to be there in the breakaway. And once we are there, we have to manage well the energy, the tactics, because we want to be a big breakaway, I believe. And of course, a guy like me has to maybe anticipate the final, and that's the way, I think.
For Visma Lisa Pike, life goes on even without Wout van Aert, and they are determined to turn their collective frown upside down.
We have to keep our heads high. That's the most important. Really bad things can happen in cycling, and sadly this year with Visma Lisa Bike a lot of times it happened. So yeah, what we can do is fight back, and I think today is a day where I can maybe try to fight back, and then tomorrow on helping Sepp to show again that we are still here in this race and still want to do good.
Stage 18 is almost 180k around Vitoria with two categorised climbs. The first of them, the Alto de Rivas de Tereso, is fairly shallow, but the Puerto Herrera is 5.5 kilometres at over 8%. That's bound to thin out the field of potential stage winners. A lot of riders had predicted a big breakaway today, and in the end no fewer than 42 went up the road, with the early average speed approaching 50 kilometres an hour. The best placed on GC was Alexander Vlasov of Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe, almost 24 minutes down on Ben O'Connor. But in the early part of the stage, the peloton didn't sit up and give them a big gap, because Ushkatela Skadi, riding their home stage, had completely missed the move. Several men in orange eventually decided to try to bridge across. They formed a chase group with Quentin Pache and Carlos Canal. There were plenty of big names up front, including Walter, McNulty, Soler, Vacek, Schmidt, Poole and Kung. Double stage winner Castrillo was also in there with the sprinters Groves and Bittner, so all manner of potential winners. Soler taking the mountains points to shore up second place behind his teammate Jay Vine. At this point, Decathlon AG2R had taken control of the peloton, and they were happy to give the break a bit more freedom. On the descent of the first climb, Kung attacked from the breakaway, going clear with Schmidt and Vacek. The Pache chase group now contained 9 riders, but they were finding it hard to close the gap, with everybody still hammering along at more than 46 kilometres an hour. Kung, Schmidt and Vacek leading the main bulk of the breakaway by around 50 seconds, with the Pache group at 3 minutes and the peloton now at almost 7. The 3 leaders still had around a minute in hand as they approached the second climb, the Puerto Herrera. Soon enough we would have a clearer picture of which riders could potentially go away and take the stage honours. The front men would soon have company in the shape of the breakaway's strongest climbers. Cattaneo coming across with Vlasov and Kreutzweig. Another 7 men would join them, including Soler, Poole and Castrillo. Cattaneo now leading the way up the climb, while back in the peloton, Richard Carapaz had decided to shake things up.
And there goes Carapaz. Big acceleration from Richard Carapaz.
We know Richard Carapaz is more than capable of doing these long-range rides. We saw that already on the stage into Granada, where he escaped the peloton and escaped the red jersey group.
Carapaz whittling the peloton down to a small GC group with O'Connor, Roglic, Mas, Godou and Rodriguez, but no Mikel Landa. The Spaniard was clearly suffering. Carapaz sensing an opportunity to sink one of his rivals for the overall podium, and Landa was soon 30 seconds down on the red jersey group. O'Connor also had a few nervy moments, but he managed to stay with Roglic and the rest. It was turning into a nightmare for Landa though. He soon trailed by over a minute. 13 riders now in the lead, and a chase group containing Groves wouldn't catch them. Landa meanwhile was having to fend for himself, and the gap was going the wrong way. 2 races for the price of 1 here, for the stage victory and to save Landa's GC bid. In desperation, T-Rex Quickstep sent Pedersen and Van Sevenant back to help before sacrificing their chances of winning the stage with Catania.
Is Mattia Catania going to drop back from the leading group of 13 riders and go back for Mikel Landa? Well, he is. His opportunity, and he's not happy about it, Nico. He's in a winning position here amongst 13 riders.
The 12 remaining leaders hitting the final 10 kilometres, which had plenty of lumps and bumps. Landa was now trailing the O'Connor group by 3 minutes. With 6 kilometres to go, Kreutzweig made his move at the front, followed by Urko Barade, and the Basque rider proved to be the stronger of the two, going solo as he looked to land another win for the remarkable Kern Pharma team.
The man from Equipo Kern Pharma, Urko Barada, takes a look around over the left-hand shoulder. He's got a bit of daylight, but he certainly can't give up here because he's got a teammate coming. And Urko Barada takes his first professional victory.
The GC group rolling in at 6 minutes 40, with Landa 3 minutes and 20 further back. This is turning into some Vuelta for Kern Pharma. After Castrillo's incredible double, the wildcard team now have a 3rd stage win with Barade. The 26-year-old, who was 4th at the recent Vuelta a Burgos, celebrating a first career success, not far from his home city of Pamplona. The stage that's closest to home, with my friends and family watching me in the final days of La Vuelta. When there are so few opportunities, it seems very hard to win a stage, and I've come close on several occasions, but this is incredible. We did an amazing preparation, so our success is no coincidence. Barade taking a sensational solo win by just 4 seconds from poor old Schmidt, with his teammate Mikel in 3rd. There was also another minor placing for Poole in 4th, ahead of Vlasov. O'Connor is still 5 seconds ahead of Roglic, but Landa tumbles from 5th down to 10th. Everybody below him moves up 1 place, so Godou is now inside the top 5. Groves made the breakaway, but he couldn't stay with the climbers. The Australian holds green by over 100 points though. Soler did enough today to relieve his teammate Vine of the polka dot jersey. The 2 UAE riders are separated by just a single point. And it's as close as ever in the youth classification, with Rodriguez, Skjelmoser and Lipovic separated by 34 seconds. The GC battle resumes tomorrow with a summit finish on the Alto de Moncalvillo, so do join us again on Friday, and thanks for watching.